Hello, I'm Dr. Jerry Parrish. I'm the Chief Economist of the Metro Atlanta Chamber, and welcome to this edition of Georgia by the Numbers. We want to talk about job numbers, but we have a government shutdown, so we actually don't have any job numbers right now. However, one of the things we have to notice is job creation across the U.S. is slowing down, and that means it's slowing down for Georgia as well. Now, one of the things we have to do as job numbers are slowing down is we have to make sure our policy folks make good policy decisions. Even more important is we have to continue, doing economic development and helping create jobs in Georgia and opportunities for those families. Today I'm joined by Kristi Brigman. She's our Chief Economic Development Officer here at the Metro Atlanta Chamber. Welcome, Kristi.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for having me.
Well, Kristi, I know you guys work with partners to help bring those companies in and help create those jobs here in the U.S. Tell us how that works. Who are the partners and how do you do that?
Yeah. So as Commissioner Pat Wilson of the Georgia Department of Economic Development always says, is economic development is a team sport in Georgia, and that is certainly the case. So we work with our partners really closely. We always work with the state agency, GDEC, Georgia Department of Economic Development. Georgia Power has an awesome economic and community development team, and also at the community level. So each of the 29 counties in the region has an economic development contact that we're working with closely to help understand their economic development goals and strategies and make sure we're helping to recruit the right types of companies to their areas.
I know the past several years we've had a lot of big economic development wins, and it's always great to see because those are opportunities for Georgia families and Georgia individuals. Can you tell us some of the things, the recent wins that we've gotten in these competitive projects?
Yeah, so I'd love to highlight two research and development projects that located here this year. First was Duracell. Earlier in the year, they announced 110 jobs going to Science Square for their global headquarters for R&D operations. And then more recently, we had Mercedes-Benz decide to relocate their R&D operations to the Metro Atlanta region. As you are probably well aware, they already have their headquarters here, their North American headquarters here. So we're excited to see them decide to relocate and grow and expand here also. We've also had some other exciting announcements. In Cobb County, Flock Safety has now expanded into drone assembly and announced about 200 jobs there. And then TriNet in Dunwoody recently announced 750 jobs for a new location there. So there's a lot of really great momentum happening in the Metro Atlanta region right now.
Well, that's great. I know you guys also work with economic development agencies around the 29 counties of the MSA that we have here. Can you tell us how that works when projects come in?
Yeah. So economic development in Georgia is really a community-led approach. And what that means is that it's up to each community to sort of develop their own strategy for what kind of companies that they'd like to see recruited to the region. And so we're constantly working with companies to understand, what a county like Forsyth might be looking for as opposed to maybe Carroll County. So everybody's objectives and goals are different, but it's important to understand what kind of companies they're looking to recruit, and then also what are their assets? What sort of real estate do they have to be able to accommodate those types of projects?
That's great. Well, tell us a little bit about the international companies. What's the percentage these days? I know we have a lot of folks looking at maybe establishing a footprint in the U.S. We have some that are establishing new headquarters or moving headquarters from other parts of the country here. What does that deal flow look like these days?
Yeah, so about 46% of our leads generated this year have actually been from international companies, and we define that as a company either directly coming from an international market or whose kind of parent company is from an international market. And so that's a really exciting number for us. That foreign direct investment and our relationship with international companies is really important to us, and we're constantly thinking of strategies for how we can recruit those companies.
Besides headquarters and those kind of things, what kind of industries are we really seeing right now taking a look at moving to Georgia?
Well, we're seeing, like I mentioned, R&D. I think that we have a fantastic university system and technical college system that really works well together. About 300,000 students just in this region. And so there's a lot of momentum for tech and those R&D positions. We've also seen robotics as a really important growth industry for us. As y'all are hopefully aware, Atlanta is sort of a hub of logistics with the airport, the port in Brunswick and Savannah, our interstate system, and then of course the rail that we have here. We've always been known as a logistics hub, and so naturally coming out of that is the technologies associated with logistics and distribution, and so robotics has been an important growth place as well for us.
Kristi, that's great news that we've got a pipeline of folks wanting to come to Georgia and help create jobs for Georgia families. Thank you all for joining us today on this edition of Georgia by the Numbers. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to contact us at the Metro Atlanta Chamber. Thank you.